The sound of papers scattering across the marble floor echoed through the empty mansion like thunder. Marcus stood frozen in the doorway, his briefcase dropped and forgotten at his feet. His wife Amara was sitting on the grand staircase, her dark hair falling over her face as she stared at the golden key in her trembling hands. What is this place?" Marcus whispered, his voice barely audible in the vast entrance hall. Amara looked up, tears streaming down her cheeks. The chandelier above cast dancing shadows across her face, making her look like a stranger. "Marcus, I can explain." "Explain." His voice cracked like a whip. "Explain how my wife of 10 years secretly bought a $3 million house without telling me? Explain how you've been lying to me for months." The mansion stood around them like a silent witness. Marble columns reached toward the ceiling, and expensive artwork lined the walls. Everything was perfect, pristine, and utterly wrong. This wasn't their modest two-bedroom home where they'd shared their dreams and struggles. This was something else entirely. "I had to," Amara said, standing up slowly. Her voice was small like a child's. "You don't understand. I couldn't tell you because..." "Because what?" Marcus stepped forward, his footsteps echoing in the empty space. "Because you don't trust me? Because you've been planning to leave me? Because our marriage means nothing to you?" "No!" Amara's voice broke. "Because they're coming for me, Marcus. They've always been coming for me, and I needed somewhere safe. Somewhere they could never find us." Marcus stopped walking. The anger in his eyes flickered, replaced by confusion. "Who's coming for you? What are you talking about?" But before Amara could answer, the sound of car doors slamming echoed from outside. Through the massive windows, they could see 3 black cars pulling up the circular driveway. Men in dark suits stepped out, their faces hidden behind sunglasses despite the evening hour. Amara's face went white. The key fell from her hand, clattering against the marble floor with a sound like breaking glass. "They found us," she whispered, her eyes wide with terror. "They found us already. 3 months earlier." Amara Martinez had always been good at keeping secrets. As a child, she'd learned that some truths were too dangerous to speak aloud. As a woman, she'd perfected the art of hiding her past behind a gentle smile and kind eyes. Her husband Marcus knew none of this. To him, she was simply the love of his life, the woman who'd walked into his coffee shop 7 years ago and changed everything. She was the teacher who worked at the local elementary school, who loved planting flowers in their small backyard, who made the best chocolate chip cookies in the neighborhood. He didn't know that Amara Martinez wasn't her real name. The morning everything changed started like any other. Marcus kissed her goodbye at 7:30 a.m., promising to be home by 6 for their weekly movie night. Amara waved from the kitchen window, her coffee mug warm in her hands, as she watched his old Honda disappear down their quiet street. She waited exactly 10 minutes. Then she walked to their bedroom, moved the dresser aside, and pulled up the loose floorboard underneath. Her hands shook as she lifted out a small metal box, one Marcus had never seen and never would. Inside was everything she'd been hiding: a different passport, old photographs, bank statements, and a letter. The letter was yellow with age, written in her mother's careful handwriting 14 years ago. Amara had read it 1,000 times, but today she read it again. "My dearest Elena," it began.
Elena.
Her real name, the one she'd abandoned when she became Amara. "If you're reading this, then I am gone and they have found me. The money I left for you is hidden in account number 847-293-105 at First National Bank. Use it wisely. Use it to disappear. The Rodriguez family will never stop looking for what they think we stole. They will never stop until they have their revenge. Trust no one with this secret, not even the man you love." Amara's hands shook as she folded the letter. The money her mother had left, $3 million, had been sitting in that account for 14 years. Amara had never touched it, too afraid of what it might mean, too afraid of the life it represented. But yesterday, everything had changed. She'd been teaching her second-grade class about family trees when the school secretary knocked on her door. "Mrs. Martinez? There's a man here to see you." He says he's from your insurance company. The man waiting in the hallway was tall and thin, with gray hair and eyes like winter. He wore an expensive suit and smiled like a shark. Mrs. Martinez, he said, his voice smooth as silk. Or should I say,
Elena Vasquez.
Amara's blood turned to ice. No one had called her by that name in 7 years. No one except her mother, and her mother was dead. I'm sorry, she managed to say, her teacher's voice steady despite her racing heart. I think you have the wrong person. The man's smile widened. Oh, I don't think so. You see, Elena, we've been looking for you for a very long time. You and your mother took something that belonged to the Rodriguez family. Something very valuable. I don't know what you're talking about. A briefcase, the man continued, as if she hadn't spoken, full of documents that could send some very important people to prison. Your mother stole it when she ran away with you all those years ago. We know she gave it to you before she died. Amara's mind raced. She remembered the briefcase. Remembered her mother burning it in their backyard when she was 16. Whatever you're looking for, it's gone. My mother destroyed it years ago. The man's smile finally faded. That's what she wanted us to think. But we know better. We know she made copies. We know she hid them. And we know you know where they are. I don't. You have 72 hours, the man said, checking his expensive watch. 72 hours to remember where your mother hid those documents. If you don't. He paused, his eyes moving to the classroom behind her where 23 7-year-olds were coloring pictures of their families. Well, let's just say it would be unfortunate if something happened to those beautiful children. Or to your husband. Amara felt the world tilt around her. You can't threaten children. I'm not threatening anyone, Elena. I'm simply stating facts. 72 hours. We'll be in touch. He walked away, leaving Amara standing in the hallway with her heart pounding so hard she thought it might burst. She looked back at her classroom, at the children who trusted her to keep them safe, at their innocent faces bent over their drawings. That's when she knew she had to use the money, had to find a way to protect everyone she loved. The house had been perfect. A mansion in the hills, 20 minutes from town but completely isolated. It had security cameras, reinforced doors, and a panic room that could keep them safe if anyone ever found them. More importantly, it was registered under a false name, one that would take time to trace back to her. Amara had bought it with cash, using her mother's money and identity she'd created years ago as backup. She told the real estate agent she was buying it as a surprise for her husband, which wasn't entirely a lie. She just hadn't mentioned that the surprise was about saving their lives. For 3 months, she'd been slowly moving things to the house. Important documents, photo albums, emergency supplies. She'd even hired a security company to install additional cameras and motion sensors, all without Marcus knowing. She'd planned to tell him everything on their 10th wedding anniversary, which was next week. She'd planned to show him the house, explain about her past, and ask him to disappear with her, start a new life somewhere safe. But today she'd gotten the call. Time's up, Elena, the same smooth voice had said. We're coming for you tonight. We're coming for what you stole, and we're coming for you. That's when she'd driven straight to the mansion, her hands shaking on the steering wheel. She'd called Marcus from there, told him she had a surprise for him, asked him to meet her at an address she'd never mentioned before. She'd been sitting on the stairs for an hour, trying to find the courage to tell him the truth, trying to find the words to explain why she'd lied about everything: her name, her past, her family, the money, the house. She'd been rehearsing her speech when she heard his car in the driveway, had been preparing to tell him that their entire marriage had been built on a lie, but that her love for him was the only true thing in her life. Instead, she'd watched him walk through the door, seen the shock and betrayal on his face, and known that she'd waited too long. Amara, Marcus said now, his voice gentler than before. Who are these people? What do they want? She looked at him standing in their beautiful, empty house, the house she'd bought to save them both. The house that was supposed to be their sanctuary had become their trap. They want something my mother stole, she said. Something she died protecting. Something that could destroy powerful people if it ever came to light. What kind of something? Evidence, Amara whispered. Evidence that could send half the Rodriguez crime family to prison for life. Marcus stared at her. Crime family? Amara, what are you talking about? Your mother was a librarian. She died in a car accident when you were 18. No, Amara said, tears streaming down her face. She wasn't and she didn't. My mother was Elena Vasquez, and she was murdered by the Rodriguez family because she tried to expose their human trafficking operation. I'm not Amara Martinez from Ohio. I'm Elena Vasquez from Mexico, and I've been running from these people my entire adult life. The sound of footsteps on the front porch made them both freeze. Heavy boots, multiple people moving with purpose. The panic room, Amara said, grabbing Marcus's hand. We need to get to the panic room now. What panic room? Behind the bookshelf in the study. I had it built when I bought the house. It's bulletproof, soundproof, and has enough supplies for 3 days. Marcus pulled his hand away. You had a panic room built? How long have you been planning this? Marcus, please. We can talk about this later. Right now, we need to. The front door exploded inward with a crash that shook the entire house. 6 men in black tactical gear poured through the opening, their weapons drawn and ready. Elena Vasquez, one of them shouted. We know you're here. Come out now and no one gets hurt. Amara grabbed Marcus's hand again. Run, she whispered. Run now. They sprinted toward the study, their footsteps echoing through the mansion. Behind them, the men were spreading out, searching room by room. Amara could hear them talking into their radios, coordinating their search. The study was at the back of the house, past the kitchen and dining room. Amara's heart pounded as they ran through the halls she'd walked alone so many times, planning their escape. The bookshelf was exactly where she'd left it, looking innocent and normal. Help me, she said, pushing against the heavy wooden shelf. It slides to the left. Marcus stared at her for a moment, then began pushing. The shelf moved slowly, revealing a steel door behind it. Amara pressed her thumb to a scanner, and the door clicked open. Get in, she said. Quickly. The panic room was small but well-equipped. Bottled water, canned food, medical supplies, a bed, and a wall of monitors showing security camera feeds from around the house. Marcus looked around in amazement. How long have you been planning this? He asked again. Since the day I met you, Amara said, sealing the door behind them. I've been planning our escape since the day I fell in love with you. On the monitors, they could see the men searching the house. They moved efficiently, professionally, like soldiers. One of them was talking to someone on a phone, gesturing angrily. They're going to find us, Marcus said. No, Amara said, watching the screens. They don't know about this room. The blueprints I filed with the city don't show it. As far as anyone knows, it doesn't exist. But as she spoke, one of the men on the screen stopped in front of the bookshelf. He was staring at the wall, his head tilted like he was listening to something. Elena, he called out, his voice carrying through the house. I know you can hear me. I know you're in there. Amara's blood ran cold. On the screen, the man was smiling directly at the hidden camera. You see, Elena, we've been watching you for months. We know about the house. We know about the panic room. We know about everything. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small device. We also know that every panic room needs air. And we know exactly where your ventilation system is. Marcus grabbed Amara's arm. What is he talking about? On the screen, the man was attaching his device to a vent in the wall. Immediately, alarms began blaring throughout the house. Gas, Amara whispered. They're pumping gas into the ventilation system. Already, she could smell something sweet and chemical seeping through the air vents. Her vision began to blur around the edges. Amara, Marcus said, his words slurring. What did you do? What did you do to us? She looked at him, at the man she'd loved for 7 years, at the man whose life she'd destroyed by trying to save it. I'm sorry, she whispered as the world went dark around them. I'm so sorry. The last thing she saw before unconsciousness took her was the man on the screen, speaking into his phone with a satisfied smile. We have them, he said. Both of them. Bring the car around. It's time to go home. The cold concrete floor felt like ice against Amara's cheek. She opened her eyes slowly, her head pounding like someone was hitting it with a hammer. The world was fuzzy and gray, and everything smelled like old water and rust. She was in a basement. Not just any basement. This one had thick stone walls and no windows. A single light bulb hung from the ceiling, casting scary shadows in every corner. The air was thick and hard to breathe, like being trapped in a box. Marcus? She whispered, her voice cracking like dry leaves. A groan came from somewhere behind her. She turned her head and saw Marcus tied to a chair about 10 feet away. His eyes were closed, and there was a small cut on his forehead that had dried blood around it. Marcus! She said louder, trying to sit up. That's when she realized her hands were tied behind her back with rough rope that scratched her skin. Marcus's eyes fluttered open. For a moment he looked confused, like he was trying to remember where he was. Then his eyes found hers, and she saw something that made her heart break. He was looking at her like she was a stranger. Where are we? He asked, his voice hoarse. I don't know, Amara said, looking around the basement. But Marcus, I need to tell you something. About who I really am. About why this is happening. I think you've told me enough lies for one lifetime, Marcus said, his words sharp as broken glass. Before Amara could respond, heavy footsteps echoed on wooden stairs. A door opened at the top of the stairs, and light poured down like water. 3 men walked down, their shoes clicking against the stone steps. The first man was the one from the school, tall and thin with gray hair and cold eyes. Behind him came a younger man with muscles like a bodybuilder and scars on his hands. The third man was older, maybe 60, with silver hair and expensive clothes that looked out of place in the dirty basement. Elena Vasquez, the older man said, his voice smooth like honey but cold like winter. After all these years, we finally meet. My name is Amara Martinez, she said, even though she knew it was useless. The man laughed, but it wasn't a happy sound. Your mother said the same thing when we found her. Right up until the end, she insisted she was someone else. But we both know the truth, don't we? Marcus was staring at her, his eyes wide. Your mother? She really was murdered? Oh yes, the older man said, turning to Marcus with a smile that made Amara's skin crawl. Elena's mother was a very foolish woman. She thought she could steal from the Rodriguez family and simply disappear. She thought she could take our property and start a new life. What property? Marcus asked. What did she steal? The man walked closer to Marcus, like a teacher explaining a lesson to a student. Files, Mr. Martinez. Very important files that prove certain activities that our family has been involved in over the years. Activities that some people might not understand. He means murder, Amara said, her voice stronger now. Human trafficking, drug dealing. Your family has been destroying lives for decades. The man's smile disappeared. Our family provides services that people want. We help people cross borders. We help people find work. We help people solve problems that the police can't solve. You kill people, Amara said. You kidnap children. You force women to work as slaves. My mother had proof of all of it. Had, the man said, his smile returning. Past tense. Because your mother destroyed those files, didn't she? Burned them all up in a pretty little fire in your backyard when you were 16. Amara's blood turned cold. How could he know about that? She'd never told anyone about the night her mother burned the briefcase. But here's the thing, Elena, the man continued. Your mother was smart. Smarter than we gave her credit for. She knew we'd come looking for those files. So she made copies. Lots of copies. And she hid them very, very well. There are no copies, Amara said. I've been through every inch of my mother's things. If there were copies, I would have found them. The man laughed again. Oh, my dear girl, you found them. You just didn't know what you were looking at. He nodded to the younger man, who walked over to a table in the corner. On the table was a box that Amara recognized. It was the same metal box she'd hidden under the floorboards in her bedroom. The box with her mother's letter and the bank information. "How did you?" she started to say. "We've been watching you for months," the man said. "We know about the house. We know about the money. We know about the little box under your bedroom floor. Did you really think we wouldn't search your house after we took you?" Marcus was staring at the box like it might explode. "What's in there?" "Show him," the man said to his helper. The younger man opened the box and pulled out the letter, her mother's letter. But underneath it was something Amara had never seen before. A small device that looked like a thumb drive, wrapped in plastic. "Your mother was very clever," the man said, holding up the device. "She hid this inside the lining of the box. You've been carrying the evidence that could destroy our entire operation for 14 years, and you never even knew it." Amara felt like the world was spinning around her. "That's impossible. I checked that box 100 times. There was never anything like that in there. The lining was designed to open only when exposed to extreme heat," the man explained. "Heat like what you'd find in a house fire. Your mother knew that if we ever found you, we'd probably burn everything. She was counting on us to accidentally reveal her hiding place." The older man pulled out a cigarette lighter and held it under the box. After a few seconds, a small panel popped open in the bottom, revealing a second compartment. "Inside this device," he said, "are financial records, photographs, video files, and audio recordings that prove everything your mother accused us of. Names, dates, locations, bank accounts. Everything." Marcus was staring at Amara like he'd never seen her before. "You knew about this?" "No," Amara said, tears streaming down her face. "I swear to you, Marcus, I never knew. I thought my mother destroyed everything. I thought it was over." "It is over," the older man said. "Now that we have what we came for, we can finally close this chapter of our lives." He walked over to Marcus and put a hand on his shoulder. "The question is, Mr. Martinez, what do we do with you? You see, you weren't part of the original plan. You were just in the wrong place at the wrong time." Marcus looked at Amara, then back at the man. "What are you going to do to her?" "What do you think?" the man said. "Elena knows too much. She's seen too much. She's been a problem for our family for far too long." "Please," Amara said, her voice breaking. "Please don't hurt him. He doesn't know anything. He's innocent in all of this." "He is innocent," the man agreed, "which is why I'm going to give him a choice." The man walked back to Marcus and untied one of his hands. Then he placed a gun on Marcus's lap. "You can walk away, Mr. Martinez. Right now. We'll give you a new identity, a new life, money to start over. All you have to do is pull that trigger." Marcus stared at the gun like it was a snake. "You want me to kill her?" "I want you to make a choice," the man said. "Your wife lied to you for 7 years. She bought a house behind your back. She put your life in danger by bringing you into this mess. She's the reason you're here right now, tied up in a basement, facing death." Amara watched Marcus's face change. She could see the anger, the hurt, the betrayal all mixing together in his eyes. "Marcus," she whispered, "I know you're angry. I know you feel betrayed. But please, remember that I love you. Everything I did to protect you." "Protect me?" Marcus's voice was harsh. "You call this protecting me? You call lying to me for 7 years protecting me? I was trying to keep you safe." "Safe?" Marcus stood up, the gun still in his hand. "I thought we were building a life together. I thought we were partners. I thought we told each other everything. We were building a life together," Amara said, desperation creeping into her voice. "That's all I ever wanted. A normal life with you." "Normal?" Marcus laughed, but it was a bitter sound. "What's normal about this? What's normal about finding out your wife is someone else entirely?" The older man was watching this exchange with a satisfied smile. "You see, Elena? Love isn't as strong as you thought it was. When people discover they've been lied to, When they realize their entire life has been built on deception, they tend to make very different choices. Marcus was staring at the gun in his hand. If I do this, if I pull the trigger, you'll let me go? You'll be free, the man said. Free to start over. Free to find someone who won't lie to you for 7 years. Free to build a real life with someone who deserves you. Amara's heart was breaking as she watched Marcus consider the offer. She could see him weighing his options, trying to decide what was real and what was a lie. Marcus, she said softly, do you remember our first date? We went to that little Italian restaurant, and you spilled wine all over your shirt. You were so embarrassed, but I thought it was sweet. I thought you were the most genuine person I'd ever met. Marcus looked at her, and for a moment, his eyes softened. Do you remember our wedding day? She continued. You cried when you saw me walking down the aisle. You said I was the most beautiful thing you'd ever seen. You promised to love me no matter what. That was before I knew who you really were, Marcus said, but his voice was less certain now. I'm the same person, Amara said. My name might be different, my past might be different, but my love for you is real. It's the only real thing in my life. The older man stepped forward. Don't let her manipulate you, Mr. Martinez. She's had years of practice lying to you. She's very good at it. Marcus, Amara said, remember the night we talked about having children? You said you wanted to give them a better life than you had growing up. You said you wanted to protect them from the harsh world. Marcus's hand was shaking as he held the gun. That's exactly what I was trying to do, Amara continued. I was trying to protect our future children from my past. I was trying to give us a normal life. By lying to me? By keeping you safe, Amara said. If you'd known the truth, you would have been in danger every single day. These people don't just threaten the person they're looking for. They threaten everyone that person loves. Marcus looked at the older man. Is that true? The man shrugged. We do what we have to do to protect our interests. You would have killed me? Marcus asked. Eventually, the man said, like he was talking about the weather. Once we found Elena, we would have had to eliminate anyone who knew about her past. It's nothing personal. It's just business. Something changed in Marcus's eyes. The anger was still there, but now it was directed at someone else. So you're telling me, Marcus said slowly, that my wife lied to me for 7 years to keep me alive? Your wife lied to you because she's a coward, the man said. She should have told you the truth and let you decide if you wanted to take the risk. Or, Marcus said, his voice growing stronger. She loved me enough to carry that burden alone. She loved me enough to sacrifice her own peace of mind to keep me safe. The older man's smile faded. Mr. Martinez, I think you're misunderstanding the situation here. No, Marcus said, standing up straighter. I think I understand perfectly. He turned to look at Amara, and she saw something in his eyes that made her heart leap with hope. Elena, he said, using her real name for the first time. I'm hurt that you didn't trust me with the truth. I'm angry that you made decisions for both of us without including me. But I understand why you did it. Marcus, I love you, he said. I love you no matter what your name is. I love you no matter what your past is. I love you no matter what danger you've brought into our lives. He raised the gun, and for a moment Amara thought he was going to point it at her. Instead, he turned and pointed it at the older man. But I will never, ever forgive you for putting her through this, Marcus said. I will never forgive you for making her live in fear for 14 years. The older man laughed. Mr. Martinez, that gun isn't loaded. Did you really think we'd give you a loaded weapon? Marcus pulled the trigger. Nothing happened. You see, the man said. It was all a test. A test to see if you really loved her enough to choose her over your own safety. The man nodded to his helpers, who started walking toward Marcus. And you failed, the man said. You chose love over logic. You chose emotion over survival, which means you're just as dangerous as she is. But as the men reached for Marcus, Amara heard something that made her heart race with hope, the sound of sirens in the distance. What is that? The older man asked, his confident smile disappearing. The sound was getting closer. Not just one siren, but many. Police cars, fire trucks, ambulances, all heading their way. How? The man demanded, staring at Amara. How did they find us? Amara smiled through her tears. You said you'd been watching me for months. You said you knew about the house, the money, the panic room. But there's one thing you didn't know. The sirens were so close now that they could hear car doors slamming outside. What? The man asked. I'm not the only one who knew about my mother's evidence, Amara said. My mother had a partner. Someone she trusted with copies of everything on that device. Someone who's been waiting 14 years for the right moment to use it. The basement door burst open, and police officers in tactical gear poured down the stairs, their weapons drawn. Police! Nobody move! The older man stared at Amara in shock. Who? He asked. Who was her partner? As the police officers surrounded them, as Marcus was untied and rushed to her side, as the three men were handcuffed and led away, Amara smiled. My third-grade teacher, she said. Mrs. Patterson. She's been the principal of my school for the last 5 years. She's been watching over me, protecting me, waiting for the day you'd finally come for me. The older man's face went white. The school? We watched the school. You watched me, Amara said. But you never watched her. And when I didn't come to work this morning, when I didn't call in sick, she knew something was wrong. She called the police, gave them copies of everything, and told them exactly where to find me. As they were led upstairs and into the bright afternoon sunlight, Marcus took her hand. Is it over? He asked. Amara looked at the police cars, at the FBI agents who were already examining the evidence, at the news crews that were starting to arrive. It's over, she said. Finally, it's over. But as they walked toward the ambulance that would take them to the hospital, as Marcus squeezed her hand and told her he loved her, Amara noticed something that made her blood run cold. In the crowd of police officers and FBI agents, standing near a black car and talking quietly into a phone, was a woman she'd never seen before. A woman with dark hair and expensive clothes who was staring directly at Amara with eyes that looked just like the older man's eyes. The woman ended her phone call and smiled at Amara, a smile that was cold and full of promise. Then she got in her car and drove away, leaving Amara to wonder if her nightmare was really over, or if it was just beginning all over again. 6 months later, Amara stood in the kitchen of their new house, making coffee and watching the morning news. The reporter was talking about the Rodriguez family trial, showing pictures of the men who had kidnapped them. All 3 had been sentenced to life in prison. The older man, whose name was Carlos Rodriguez, had died in prison just 2 weeks ago. Good riddance, Marcus said, walking into the kitchen and kissing her cheek. How are you feeling this morning, Mrs. Martinez? Amara smiled. After everything that had happened, she'd decided to keep the name Amara Martinez. Elena Vasquez was a frightened girl who had lived in hiding for 14 years. Amara Martinez was a woman who had found love, built a life, and learned to be brave. I'm good, she said, pouring him a cup of coffee. Really good. And she was. The last 6 months had been the happiest of her life. She and Marcus had moved to a small town in Colorado, far from the city where everything had happened. She was teaching at a new school, and Marcus had opened a small bookstore. They'd even started talking about having children. The federal government had given them new identities and enough money to start over. In return, Amara had testified against the Rodriguez family, helping to put dozens of criminals in prison. The evidence her mother had hidden had been even more valuable than anyone had imagined. I have something for you, Marcus said, reaching into his pocket. He pulled out a small velvet box, and Amara's heart skipped a beat. Marcus, what? I know we're already married, he said, opening the box to reveal a beautiful diamond ring. But I want to do it again. I want to marry you knowing everything about you. I want to promise to love Elena and Amara, no matter what other secrets might come up. Tears filled Amara's eyes. Are you sure? After everything I put you through? I'm sure, Marcus said, getting down on one knee in their sunny kitchen. Amara Martinez, will you marry me? Again? Yes, she said, laughing and crying at the same time. Yes, of course I will. He slipped the ring onto her finger, and she pulled him up for a kiss. Everything was perfect. Everything was exactly the way it should be. That's when someone knocked on their front door. They both froze. Very few people knew where they lived. The FBI had given them a secure address, and they'd been careful not to tell anyone from their old life where they'd gone. Stay here, Marcus said. But Amara was already walking toward the door. It's probably just a neighbor, she said. Or maybe someone from the school. But when she looked through the peephole, her blood turned to ice. Standing on their front porch was the woman from the courthouse. The woman with dark hair and expensive clothes who had been watching them 6 months ago. The woman who looked like Carlos Rodriguez. Who is it? Marcus asked. Nobody, Amara said, backing away from the door. It's nobody. But the woman knocked again, harder this time. Elena, she called out. I know you're in there. We need to talk. Marcus moved to stand beside Amara. Who is that? I don't know, Amara said. But I think she's related to the Rodriguez family. The woman knocked a third time. Elena. My name is Isabella Rodriguez. I'm Carlos's daughter. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to help you. Help me, Amara called through the door. Help me with what? There's something you need to know, Isabella said. Something about your mother. Something about why she really stole those files. Marcus looked at Amara. Don't open the door. Call the FBI. But Amara was curious. After all these years, after all the pain and fear, she wanted to know the whole truth. What about my mother? She called out. She wasn't trying to expose our family, Isabella said. She was trying to save someone. Someone very important to her. I don't understand. Open the door, Elena. Please. I have something that belongs to you. Against Marcus's protests, Amara slowly opened the door. Isabella Rodriguez was even more beautiful in person, with long dark hair and eyes that were sad rather than threatening. Thank you, Isabella said. May I come in? Stay right there, Marcus said, moving protectively in front of Amara. Say whatever you came to say from where you are. Isabella smiled sadly. I understand why you don't trust me. My family has done terrible things, but I'm not like them. I never was. What do you want? Amara asked. Isabella reached into her purse and pulled out a photograph. It was old and faded, showing a young woman holding a baby. The woman looked exactly like Amara's mother. Your mother and I knew each other, Isabella said. We were friends, long before she stole those files. Amara stared at the picture. That's impossible. My mother never mentioned knowing anyone from your family. She wouldn't have, Isabella said, because she was trying to protect me. Protect you from what? From my father. From my brothers. From the family business. Isabella's voice was quiet, almost like a whisper. Your mother didn't steal those files to hurt the Rodriguez family. She stole them to save me. Amara felt the world tilting around her. What are you talking about? 25 years ago, I was supposed to marry a man named Victor Morales. He was one of my father's business partners, and the marriage was supposed to strengthen ties between our families. But Victor was... he was a monster. He hurt women. He killed people for fun. He was going to kill me too, eventually. Isabella's hands were shaking as she held the photograph. Your mother was working for my father then as a bookkeeper. She saw what Victor was really like. She saw the evidence of what he'd done to other women. So she stole the files that proved his crimes and gave them to the police. But why would she do that? Amara asked. Why would she risk her life for someone she barely knew? Isabella looked up at her, and Amara saw tears in her eyes. Because she didn't barely know me, Isabella said. She knew me very well. She'd been taking care of me since I was born. I don't understand. Your mother was my nanny, Elena. She raised me. She loved me like I was her own daughter. When she saw what my father was planning to do to me, she couldn't stand by and watch. Amara felt like she might fall down. My mother worked for your family? For 15 years, Isabella said. She was the closest thing to a real mother I ever had. When she gave those files to the police, she saved my life. But it also destroyed hers. My father found out what she'd done, and she had to run. She had to take you and disappear. You're lying, Marcus said. Why should we believe anything you say? Isabella reached into her purse again and pulled out a letter. It was written in the same handwriting as the letter Amara's mother had left for her. Read it, Isabella said. It's addressed to you. With shaking hands, Amara took the letter and opened it. My dearest Elena, it began. If you are reading this, then Isabella has found you, and it is time for you to know the whole truth. Amara's legs gave out, and she sat down hard on the floor. Marcus knelt beside her, reading over her shoulder. I never told you about Isabella because I was afraid it would put you in danger, but she is not like the rest of her family. She is good and kind and brave. She has spent the last 25 years working to undo the damage her family has done. Working how? Amara asked, looking up at Isabella. I became a FBI informant, Isabella said. After you testified against my father, I gave the government even more evidence. Evidence that helped them arrest over 200 people connected to our organization. Amara continued reading. Isabella has been protecting you from a distance for years. She was the one who made sure the Rodriguez family never found you. She was the one who convinced them to stop looking. She told them you were dead. You've been protecting me? Amara asked. For 14 years, Isabella said. I made my father believe that you and your mother had died in a car accident. I even showed him fake death certificates. It wasn't until he got sick with cancer that he started questioning the story. That's when he sent his men to find you. Amara felt like she was dreaming. So you're the reason I was able to have a normal life? The reason I was able to go to college, get married, become a teacher. I wanted you to have the life I never could, Isabella said. I wanted you to be free. Marcus was staring at the letter. There's more. Amara looked back at the paper. Isabella has something that belongs to you. Something I saved for you but never had the chance to give you. She will explain everything. What is it? Amara asked. Isabella smiled for the first time since she'd arrived. Your mother's real story. The story of who she was before she worked for my family. The story of your father. My father? My mother said he died before I was born. He did, Isabella said. But not the way she told you. Your father was a police officer named Miguel Vasquez. He was investigating my family's activities when he met your mother. They fell in love, but when my father found out about their relationship, he had Miguel killed. Amara felt tears streaming down her face. My father was a police officer? One of the best, Isabella said. He was trying to shut down the human trafficking operation when he died. In a way, your mother finished what he started. Isabella reached into her purse one more time and, this was his, she said. Your mother kept it all these years. She wanted you to have it when you were old enough to understand. Amara took the badge with trembling hands. It was heavy and cold, but it felt like the most precious thing in the world. There's something else, Isabella said. Something I need to tell you before I go. Go? Amara asked. Where are you going? Prison, Isabella said simply. Tomorrow I'm turning myself in to the FBI. I've been working with them for years, but I've also done things, terrible things, to maintain my cover. It's time for me to pay for those crimes. But you were helping them, Marcus said. You were fighting against your own family. I was, Isabella said. But I still made choices that hurt innocent people. I still have blood on my hands. I need to face the consequences. How long will you be in prison? Amara asked. Maybe 10 years. Maybe 20. It depends on how many crimes they can prove I was involved in. Isabella smiled sadly. But it's worth it. Because my father's organization is finished. Because hundreds of victims have been saved. Because you're finally free. Amara stood up and, without thinking, hugged Isabella. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you for everything. Isabella hugged her back, and for a moment, They were just two women who had both lost their mothers too young. "Take care of yourself, Elena," Isabella said. "Live the life your mother dreamed of for you. Be happy." "Wait," Amara said as Isabella started to leave. "What's your real name?" "Isabella Rodriguez can't be your real name." Isabella smiled. "It's not. My real name is Maria Elena Rodriguez. Your mother named me after you. She said we were both her daughters, and she wanted us to share a name." After Isabella left, Amara and Marcus sat in their kitchen, holding each other and trying to process everything they'd learned. "So it's really over," Marcus said. "The Rodriguez family is gone. The people who hurt your mother are in prison or dead. You're safe." "We're safe," Amara corrected. "We're safe together." She looked at her father's badge, then at her engagement ring, then at Marcus's face. "I want to tell you something," she said. "Something I've never told anyone." "What?" "When I was little, I used to dream about having a normal family. A mother and father who loved each other, a house with a white picket fence, maybe a dog. I thought that was impossible for someone like me. And now I know that family isn't about having a perfect past. It's about choosing to build a future together. It's about loving someone enough to trust them with your secrets. It's about being brave enough to hope for something better." Marcus kissed her forehead. "So what do you want to do now? We could go anywhere, be anyone. The whole world is open to us." Amara looked around their little kitchen, at the coffee cups and morning newspapers, at the life they'd built together. "I want to stay here," she said. "I want to teach children and help you run the bookstore. I want to have babies and plant a garden and grow old with you." "That's it?" Marcus asked. "Just a normal life?" "Just a normal life," Amara agreed. "The most beautiful, extraordinary, normal life anyone could ask for." 6 months later, Amara Martinez stood in front of a mirror in a small church in Colorado, adjusting her wedding dress. Mrs. Patterson, who had flown in from their old city, was helping her with her veil. "You look beautiful, dear," Mrs. Patterson said. "Your mother would be so proud." "Thank you," Amara said, "for everything, for protecting me all these years, for being the family I needed when I had no one else." "You were never alone," Mrs. Patterson said. "You always had people who loved you. You just didn't know it." The church doors opened, and Marcus walked in wearing a simple black suit and the biggest smile Amara had ever seen. "Ready?" he asked. "Ready," she said. As they walked down the aisle together, Amara thought about everything that had brought them to this moment. The lies and secrets, the fear and danger, the pain and loss, but also the love and hope, the courage and sacrifice, the second chances and new beginnings. She thought about her mother, who had given up everything to keep her safe. She thought about her father, who had died trying to protect innocent people. She thought about Isabella, who was serving her prison sentence, but had sent them a beautiful letter wishing them happiness. But mostly, she thought about Marcus, who had chosen to love her despite everything, who had chosen to build a life with her, not because of her past, but because of who she was in the present. As they said their vows in front of their small group of friends, as they promised to love and protect each other for the rest of their lives, Amara finally understood what her mother had meant in her letter. The most important thing wasn't running from the past or hiding from the truth. The most important thing was finding someone worth fighting for, someone worth choosing every single day, someone worth building a future with. "I love you, Elena Vasquez Martinez," Marcus whispered as they kissed for the first time as husband and wife. "I love you too," she whispered back. And for the first time in her life, Amara felt truly free. Outside the church, a gentle snow began to fall, covering the world in white. It was the kind of snow that made everything look clean and new, like a fresh start, like a blank page waiting to be filled with new stories. Amara and Marcus walked out into the snow together, hand in hand, ready to write the next chapter of their lives. A chapter that would be filled with truth instead of lies, with trust instead of fear, with love instead of survival. The house she had bought without telling her husband had been sold months ago. They didn't need a mansion or a panic room anymore. They didn't need to hide or run or look over their shoulders. All they needed was each other, and the promise that no matter what secrets the future might hold, they would face them together. As they drove away from the church toward their new life, Amara reached over and took Marcus's hand. "No more secrets," she said. "No more secrets," he agreed. And this time she knew they both meant it.